flip video.
I've never seen them there since that night. I'm going back to other techno nights. No, they have never shown up at that bar ever again. I saw them.
So the first time I ever used one of these, it was in 2009. I had a party and a guy had left his flip camera at my house. So I got in contact with him to return it and asked him if maybe he wouldn't mind if I used it for, you know, the day, just to see if I liked it. So I took it out and I kind of filmed stuff, you know, here or there around town, and I really liked it. I especially really liked the fact that you could flip this thing out, plug it into your computer, and then you could take the files directly from the camera. At the time, in 2009, I was making a web series with my friend, and him and I would shoot the film, and then I would upload it onto my computer and edit it. And transferring the files, you had to do it in real time. You had to play back the tape, because it was a mini DV camcorder. You had to play back the tape in real time over FireWire into your computer, or your computer basically ran capture software to capture the video file you were playing back from the tape. So instead of just dragging and dropping, copy and pasting, which is what we do now, like all the time, you had to like literally watch the video again that you just shot before you could start editing it. And it was very tedious and time consuming. So then this thing, you could take the footage directly from the camera, put it on your computer, drag and drop, no problem. So I went out and got one of these. These things really filled a niche because, you know, internet video became a bigger deal. You know, it saved everybody a lot of time. And also, cell phone video was not, you know, sometimes it was either not available at all, or it was not very good if you did have it. So this thing really became a game changer for people who wanted a piece of gear that was cheap and portable, and also shot HD and sounded okay. You know, it didn't have the best sound in the world, but for the cost, it was totally an excellent value. So, with that said, let's go into the history of flip cameras. The Pure Digital Point and Shoot was a disposable video camera that featured 20 to 30 minutes of recording, a small handheld camera that you could drop off at your local drugstore and have it turned into a DVD, similar to disposable cameras of the time. These did fairly well, and Pure Digital considered making the camera as a reusable camera instead of just a disposable. The flip camera was the next step in the evolution, basically the same as the disposable in features, but with a redesigned case to have interchangeable batteries, a flip-out USB port. We always called this a switchblade, because you're like, what'd you say? Cisco Systems bought Pure Digital in 2009 as new models were introduced, like the Flip HD Ultra and the Minnow HD, which featured 720p video, longer recording times, and internal batteries. They released the Slide HD with a 3-inch flip-up screen for playback so others could see your video. In 2011, they were about to release a streaming video camera which would have been ahead of its time, but Cisco Systems decided to pull the plug on all flip products just before the release. Cisco's reason for ending the flip line was a move away from consumer electronics to focus on their core business-based equipment. Flips had their share of issues, most famously having fixed focus, so if you were filming something less than 2 feet in front of you, it would be blurry. The earliest models only had mono audio and 480p resolution. They didn't do well in low light, and the rechargeable models are plagued with unchargeable batteries. I have another one of these, and the battery won't charge. And the only way to fix it is to take it apart and replace a battery. And I don't know if you've ever seen one of these up close, but there's not any screws. You just pry it apart, and it's very likely you'll break it trying to fix it. The flip camera at its price point, sometimes selling for as low as $50 toward the end of its time at Best Buy, was a fair trade-off. This brings me to my next point. Nothing killed the flip. People have said the smartphones improving video capabilities is what ended the flip's reign, but this is not actually the case. Flips were still selling well when they ceased production in 2011, still accounting for about 13% of all camcorders sold. Cisco saw a trend in cell phones and figured the little camera game wasn't going to be a competitive space for them in the future, and they pulled the plug. Cell phones did eventually surpass the video quality of the Flip in the following years, and GoPros had already started to fill the niche market of a pocketable camera with more options and more professional look to the video. Flip cameras came at a time when people filming their day and vlogging had become the trend. They captured and expanded that market. Pure Digital was purchased by Cisco for $590 million in 2009. Cisco continued to turn a profit on the Flip until its end. And you can still find brand new Flips for sale online now for under $50. Flip made it possible for more people to vlog and share content in the digital age. Like I said earlier, if you wanted to make a YouTube video in 2006 with your existing equipment, it was very tedious. The days of dragging and dropping several gigabyte-sized files were far in the future, but the Flip was a stepping stone to the world of video production as we know it today. I have heard these compared to the 8mm cameras of decades past. You just film what was going on in your everyday life with them. I'm sure there will be many people watching this video who might still have one of these in a closet or in a drawer somewhere. Maybe you still have some videos on it. Go back and see what you shot. Hopefully, it's full of happy memories. This is my Flip that I've had for quite some time, and I actually had purchased this little nifty add-on here. It's a magnetic lens, and I'll show you. Right here to my left is my dog. Okay, so this is wide-angle lens adapter, no wide-angle lens adapter, wide-angle lens adapter, no wide-angle lens adapter. That is a huge difference. So you can take the lens apart, right? So here's the lens. You have wide angle, and then you unscrew it. This little skinny thing is a macro adapter. So you can slap that on there. So this is what it looks like. So it's all blurry because it's macro. If you get your finger in there, I mean, look at this. Look at my sunglasses. You can see the texture in them. So I took this around today and I filmed some stuff just to have, you know, some current footage on there. Are you playing with your friend?
Hello, we're about to go play Legos. Come with us. This is my Lego house. You come in the doorway. Oh, this is just our, what should we call it? You go under the fancy little dome and into the house.
If you compare the two of these, okay, this is the Flip and this is the Hero 2. Which one of these do you think is more pocketable? And the GoPro also lacks a rear screen, though you could get one, but it would add about that much thickness to it. GoPros clearly have come a long way, and also if you had a GoPro, you had to have a case, right? So you slap it in there, and now it's, well, this one I drilled a hole in so I could plug my microphone in, but if it was the, you know, factory case, it would be waterproof. They also made a waterproof case for these. I never bought one because I never go under the water, but you could get a waterproof case for your Flip for some reason. Many other companies tried to make a similar camera to the Flip camera to capitalize on the market. So I don't have all of them, but I do have this one. This one is called a Sony Webby HD. If you look carefully, you'll see it has an articulating lens. So you can point it ahead of you, or you can point it behind you. And if you notice, I use a Sony a6000 to record this video. It's the same noise. That is the same noise that the a6000 makes when you turn it on and turn it off. Isn't that nifty? Now, where this beats the Flip far and away is right here in the bottom. You can open that little door and you got a freaking SD card. Well, it's a Sony memory stick, but still. You can just unplug the thing. You can add more memory. You can put less in there. You can do whatever you want. You're not limited by whatever's built into it. Man, it's a freaking... You could stick this in your PSP and watch your dumb videos you made. And it also has interchangeable, rechargeable batteries. You can still buy these. I bought this like 2 years ago. I mean, you can still buy batteries for your Flip, but you gotta take it apart to replace them. At one point, I did have an Ultra HD. I actually gave it to my friend, and I called him and asked him if he knew where it was. And he said he probably, you know, stuck it in a closet somewhere or something. So, you know, if he knew where it was, I would have asked him for it for this video. So Flip didn't make anything particularly groundbreaking in as far as, you know, resolutions or frame rates or anything like that. However, they made it affordable for you to shoot HD video on the go without having to buy professional equipment, without having to, you know, have some ridiculous editing software. It came with editing software. You could edit it in Windows Movie Maker. You could edit it in iMovie. It made things so accessible for people. And there's a lot of people on the internet who hate flip cameras, and I kind of don't understand why. Like, I get it, you know, if you're a purist or something, yeah, okay, fine. They're awful. But you're not the market. You're not the demographic who that camera was for. I got into it, and it honestly made me move more into trying to get cameras where I could do the same thing, where I could just transfer files. I mean, the ability to do that was so important to me. Being someone who's made, at this point, thousands of videos in my life. I mean, I remember having to take 2 VCRs and put them together to edit videos. Like, the convenience, and not only the convenience, the fact that it saved you that much time. You could, instead of waiting for an hour to, you know, get all your footage onto your computer, you could just start editing it. You could spend that hour editing the video, and the video could be done. So, like I said, flip camera for me was a real game changer. I know there are a lot of people who don't like them, and that's fine if it's not your thing. But I think that, you know, they really made things accessible for people who never had access to them before. I think when they were new, they were like $200 or something like that. And honestly, you know, at the time, it's probably pretty good deal, you know, to get involved in that sort of thing. And I know this is also, let me say this too, the first HD camera I ever bought was a Flip. I'd never had an HD camera before. My phone didn't even have an HD camera on it, but this was an HD camera. And I could take footage from this, and I could put it straight on YouTube, and it looked pretty good, and I, you know, liked it a lot. Maybe I'll make a video about GoPro sometime. I don't know. So if you want to see that, let me know in the comments. If you like this video, let me know in the comments. I don't know. Leave me comments. If you want to talk about the weather, leave me a comment. If you want to talk about, you know, what you did today, what you had for lunch, leave in the comments. Any engagement is good engagement. Tell your friends about my YouTube channel. Tell your mom about my YouTube channel. Tell your dad about my YouTube channel. Tell everybody. Tell everybody you know. Because I'm trying to grow this thing. I'm trying to do weekly content. And what is it? It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm shooting this video. I wrote a script for it, and I'm not following it anymore. So let me know. I'd really like to get to 1,000 subscribers sometime soon. So again, if you're seeing this, if you've seen any of my other videos, if you want to watch some of my other videos, by all means, please go do that. Subscribe, hit the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a dislike, leave whatever you want. Just give me something. Just give me something. I'm acting. Anyway, I hope you liked all the old clips too from, you know, different videos I shot with the Flip. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in a week. Provisional purchase Cisco systems for $1 billion, $29,099.99.